What do you think about weed? That's an interesting question right there. And that's why I chose to answer. I have not smoked weed for at least 15 years. I am currently 15 years clean. Before that, I started smoking weed at 12. So I basically smoked from 11 or 12, probably 12 years old to like 23. So I was smoking for a good 11 years. So I would say I am qualified as somebody who is a past weed smoker. And then I also qualify as someone who hasn't smoked weed. I thought weed was incredible at the time that I was smoking it. You know what I mean? But it started affecting me and it making me very paranoid. And I didn't like the come down from the weed. You know, I would smoke and I would get high, and then there would be this downer where midday I didn't want to do anything anymore. You know what I mean? I couldn't focus. I didn't want to create music anymore. Like, you know, you would get to the point where I would puff and then start making a beat and enjoying it and loving that whole vibe that you're high and you're liking it and all that. And then after that, it didn't feel as good anymore. You know what I mean? And then the more I would smoke, the more I would get accustomed to it. I started building up a tolerance, and I think that's a problem for me, because a lot of people will be like, yo, but Necro, why don't you just smoke more? I was building up a tolerance, man, and I was smoking like hydroponic shit, you know what I mean? Fucking Purple Haze and skunk and fucking and just real good shit, chocolate tie, and you know what I mean? Because I had started out with blunts, you know, and just smoking, you know, straight up shitty weed, and then I graduated to better shit. So basically, it wasn't really working for me, and I started getting a lot of like heartburn and even heart palpitations, and it just, I was like, the weed just wasn't mixing with me. And I remember I went to the hospital one night because I thought I was having a heart attack, and the doctor did an x-ray on my lungs and said my lungs were straight black. He's like, yo, let me show you your lungs. And he shows me what lungs look like when they're not, you know, normal, you know, healthy, without a non-smoker. And then mine were pitch black. And he's like, yo, he goes, you're going to fuck yourself. He's like, yo, man, young, you know what I mean? And then while I was in the room getting ready to leave, the Archangel Michael came into the room through the form of the body of an orderly. And he said, yeah, he knew everything about me. He knew mad shit about me. And, but not like stuff anyone would know. He knew crazy shit. And I was like, how you know all this? And he's like, I'm the Archangel Michael. And I was like, yeah, right. He's like, you need to quit or you're going to die. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like that. He's like, he goes, look how you feel. You're here. You're in the hospital for, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you're fucking yourself up. And I was like, yeah, you know, I try to box and, you know, and I go in the ring high. You know what I mean? I was going in the ring sparring high with dope boxes. You know what I mean? And like, I'm getting fucked up because I'm high. You know what I mean? I can't really focus. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do my thing, but the weed is fucking my head up. So I pretty much quit cold turkey, you know what I mean? And it allowed me to run PLR. Psychological Records wouldn't have been here if I would have been high on weed. You know what I mean? And just to end this off, and let me make one thing clear. I don't judge nobody. So all your weed smokers, you know what I mean? Like, more power to you. Fuck with it. I get it. I know how dope weed is, you know what I mean? I know how it feels. I love the smell still, you know what I mean? Nothing like smelling a dope bud. It's like, this shit is dope, you know what I'm saying? But it don't mix with me physically. It don't work for the goals I'm trying to do. And as it is, I got addictions to sugar, you know what I mean, and grain and other shit. So, you know, but basically, what made me a little bit iller, I think, that I quit weed was, when you're high on weed, everything you hear sounds better. So you're listening to a track now and you're like, oh, this shit is the bomb, kid. And it might not be. Shit might be garbage. But because you're high, it's doper. So when I started making production and doing a lot of the shit I started doing when I started PLR in 99, 2000, and I was drug-free around that time, I didn't have the use of weed. So now I had to make shit dope. You understand? In a clear mind, in a reality state. No escaping reality through, you know what I mean, substances. So I think that made my shit iller. You know what I'm saying? I think it made my music better. And I think now when a dude who listened to this great creation I created clean is listening to it high, he's getting fucking, oh, this shit smashes him in the fucking grill. So, weed, I think I always say I would never have been necro without weed. And I also would never have gotten to this level as necro if I kept smoking weed. So weed has been a positive and a negative in my life. And, you know, I always think when I'm older, 50, 60, I might go back and puff back later. You know what I mean? When I'm on my relaxing, chilling on some real estate, looking at the ocean shit, I might puff. But right now, that shit don't mix with me. More power to all you weed puffers. I see you fucking with them vaporizers now. And, you know what I mean? Shit is advancing. So, you know, maybe it'll get to a point where I'll go back and fuck with it. You know what I mean? But until then, Necro is clean. 15 years. All you weed smokers, salute.